Hello and welcome to Camp Xbox. Today I'd like to discuss Xbox Live avatars. I've been feeling nostalgic over the different elements of the Xbox 360 here recently. The 360 was an incredible console, especially at the beginning of its lifespan, and as it evolved over the years, it got so many neat updates. One of those was the Xbox Avatar. Today I wanted to talk about Xbox avatars briefly. I usually don't do videos not centered around games or in a shorter, off-the-cuff format, but I think this will be a fun topic to touch upon. So be sure to let me know in the comments below if you enjoy videos like this, and I might do more. And I want to thank my YouTube channel members for their support, but let's go ahead and get into it. The Xbox 360 had so much going for it, but one of the best things was its UI. And I think that goes for any of the updates as well. You could go back to the Blades dashboard that so many pine for today, and this introduced things like gamer picks, themes, and gamerscore. If there was one thing Microsoft did well in this era, it was that it made the 360 feel personal. Your gamer tag and profile were made up of things that pertained to you. You could show off who you were as a gamer to the world. It was brilliant timing with the rise of social media. By the time 2008 rolled around, the 360 dashboard was looking for an update, and Microsoft was doing it in a big way by completely changing the format. They updated the UI to be a lot easier to navigate and cleaner. One of the most significant announcements with this was the Xbox Avatar. Upon its release, this announcement had significant discourse between people because a lot of people saw it as a ripoff of Nintendo Wii's Mii's. But Microsoft really made it their own with more detailed faces and tons of clothing, and it would be integrated into games. And it was one step closer to making your Xbox Live profile an extension of yourself. I loved playing with the avatar builder and spent a good chunk of time experimenting with many of its features. There were so many small details like facial features and body types, and I could never make an avatar that looked just like me, but I think that's a personal thing. But I always tried my best to make something as close as possible, and I always thought that was a great time. The clothing that came with this at the start was a really good selection, and there was a good amount to choose from. From all the options, you can make whatever creation you wanted. I don't think it was quite as easy as the Mii to make lookalikes, but people still tried and succeeded. Oh, and the music on this menu is amazing. I also love the little things you can do with your avatar, like spinning their head around to make them dizzy, shaking their head in a no motion to make them angry. I love how well the avatars were integrated into so many games. For a long time, having Xbox Live Arcade games that used your created avatar was a huge deal. One of the biggest ones was A Kingdom for Keflings, which has you playing from a top-down view looking at your avatar. Crash Course did the same thing, and it's such a fun personal touch to see your creations on the screen running around, especially when you're decked out with gear. I loved seeing all of the avatars in games like this, and it really made the 360 one of my favorite places to play games because it felt like a personal experience. It helped build community too and represent yourself to others on Xbox Live. I knew people only buy their Xbox avatars for a long time, which I think is neat, especially when I'd sit with them in Netflix parties with a group of avatars watching the theater screen. It was really a great time. And let's get into why I started making this video, and I wanted to talk about how awesome the avatar rewards were. One major feature of many Xbox releases was specific rewards you could earn through playing games. I recently went through all of my avatar gear and forgot how many games had gear for your avatar. There were a lot of rewards that were just shirts with game logos on them, but there's some cool gear that you could get. Sometimes it would come with the game on startup, but I always love the ones tied to achievements. If you unlock an achievement, not only do you get gamerscore, you get an award with it. One of the games I fondly remember having these is Left 4 Dead 2, which had some neat ones like the med kit for completing all the campaigns. Or if you play 6 different mutations, you get Noam Chomsky with you. And this one has an elaborate animation and isn't the only one that does cool animations like this. For Halo Waypoint, you get a monitor that hovers around you. Perfect Dark, you get a little Elvis doll. There's almost too many avatar awards to go over. At a certain point, it would just be me dumping a ton of info on you, and I'm forgetting some great ones, like the Red Dead Redemption outfits that I always saw people have. I loved getting avatar awards. It was such a nice bonus with your game. Not only did you get a game, you also earned things to use outside the game. It's a small touch, but looking back now, it was an essential part of the Xbox 360 experience. And I briefly want to touch upon the Avatar store, because if there's one part that I'm personally not that nostalgic for, it's this. I was always tight on money during the 360 era, so I never really wanted to pay for content from the Avatar store. When making this video, I didn't even think the Avatar store existed anymore. But funny enough, you can still look through it. I'm pretty sure you can't buy things because I wasn't able to at all, but looking through the store, it's all there and it's kind of like a museum. It was a fun trip looking through these because some are elaborate. Like this Silence of the Lambs prop with a whole set that your avatar walks around in, it feels like Hannibal Lecter's cell from the movie. There's other ones like a whole Disney World set with a teacup animation that's elaborate. And you have to check out this Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 bow and arrow prop. I never knew avatars could move around like this. Going through it, there were a ton of hidden treasures in the Avatar store, and if you're looking for a nostalgic fix, I'd say check it out. There's a lot of fun stuff there. And one nice thing is that the store and all your Avatar rewards are preserved on the new Xbox consoles. Not only do you have your new Avatar to look at, but your old one too. Everything is preserved. If you've purchased something or you've earned rewards, it's all there and usable, which is nice to see. The Avatar store is here as well, but once again, I could look, but I never could get anything to load to get to the purchase process, so please put in the comments below if you're still able to purchase props and clothing on the new Xbox store. Yet there was a lot of stuff outside of that, and I remember Avatar props and shirts that existed only with a code, such as the Horde and Alliance shirts for the beginning of Mists of Pandaria. Microsoft went all in on avatars at this point, and I still think they are really neat to look back on now and just see the wealth of items available and what you could get. So I am nostalgically talking about Xbox avatars, but avatars do still exist. On the modern Xbox consoles, there is an avatar designer, but they did revamp the style of avatars. I like that it has more inclusive features like wheelchairs and artificial limbs, but gone are the days of awards. It's no longer a feature you see in Xbox games, and it's not as fun looking at people's avatars. I also think the avatars are way too clean nowadays. They just don't look as interesting. It's not that the 360 avatar was anything amazing or a breakthrough, but the cartoony style was cute, and it's really not there anymore. As Microsoft has moved on past the 360, the focus has shifted less away from the console being a personal extension of you to the idea that you can play anywhere. You can debate if that's bad or not, but the Xbox avatar isn't quite necessary in today's Xbox market. But it is really fun to look back on now. But that was a very short look at Xbox avatars. I just wanted to talk about a smaller section of Xbox history that I love. The small things sometimes matter the most, and help further your understanding why the Xbox brand is so important. If you like this video, let me know in the comments below, and I might look into doing more content like this, or maybe if you want a deeper dive into Avatar Awards, I'd love to do that. Also, let me know your memories with avatars. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a like as it really helps out my channel, subscribe to keep up with the retro Xbox content, and I want to give a huge shout out to my YouTube channel members. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you here next time at Camp Xbox.